What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Come to Jesus podcast. My name is Mark Page, and it is my passion in life to empower the people around me to leverage their lives for God's kingdom purpose. I want to teach and train and equip and help my brothers and sisters leverage every moment of their lives for maximum gospel impact. We're going to be talking about that every week, all the time. You can make a difference in your generation. So thank you for joining us today on the Come to Jesus podcast.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Come to Jesus podcast. I have an awesome young man right here with me today. His name is Rico. Say what up, Rico.
What's up with y'all?
And Rico is a basketball player. He's a pro athlete. He's a big dog in the gym. But Rico also is a young man who loves Jesus. So we're going to talk through some things today that I think and I believe will really help our listeners. Last time we were on the podcast, we had with us Reese McDonald. Thank you, Reese, for all of the input, the wisdom, and just the open transparency that you had, man. It was awesome to be with you. But today I'm glad to be talking to you, Rico, because I knew from the first moment I met you we were going to be friends. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell y'all a story, maybe, about a shot clock that really bonded our hearts together in the gym a few weeks ago. But first things first, let's make it really simple, man. Tell us your story. Who are you? Tell us your name, where you came from, and who are you, bro?
All right, so my real name is Tyreek. I'm from Durham, North Carolina. I grew up there majority of my life. I started off, my journey was a little different so far as the whole basketball aspect. I started off as a football player.
That surprised me.
Yeah, so I started off loving basketball more than I love football, but towards like my high school route and stuff like that, after my freshman year, I started getting more looks so far as the football route and stuff.
How tall are you?
6'8".
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I was playing defensive end and receiver at the time, so I was playing both sides of the field. Never really came off the field, so by the time I got to my sophomore year, I got my first offer and whatever so far as football, so I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty set on, like, this is what I'm going to do and go from there.
What high school?
Southern Durham.
Okay.
Sir, so I started from there, got to my senior year, just knew what I was going to do, went to school for that, and then switched over my junior year in college, and then been playing basketball ever since.
No way.
Yeah.
So you played 2 years of college football?
Yes.
And then you switched to basketball just because you loved it?
Just out the simple fact, I kind of seen how much of a business football was.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was kind of like.
Tell us about that shortly. What do you mean by that? Because I would love to learn.
Because out of high school, I also went the JUCO route and I went the post-grad route.
Okay.
So I went post-grad. I went to Fort Union Military Academy. So when I went there for 3 months, played. I went there for my grades. My grades wasn't as good coming out of high school. So I went there to the SATs, made 1,100, and then went from school from there.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of the route I took. And then once I got to the JUCO route, I kind of seen how much of a business it was. And then just switched over from there.
So where did you play basketball in college?
I played at North Carolina Central and also Livingstone College.
Super cool, man. Super cool. All right, tell us about your family, man. Tell me a little about your siblings, parents. What do they do? Where did you come from?
Yeah, so
Give us the backstory, bro. I know you're a hooper. He's a great basketball player, great athlete. I did not know the football thing. That's pretty cool. But tell me about your family, bro. Where do you come from?
So my peoples are originally from Roxborough, North Carolina. My dad's name is Lamont Bradsher. He worked at a church called Union Baptist in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
Now
what did he do at the church?
He was the leader of the music aspect. What is that? I forgot the name of it.
Worship director, music director, worship pastor.
I think it was like worship director or something like that. Yes, sir.
Worship leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he sung, played the drums, could play the guitar and all that stuff. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Got any siblings?
I got a couple brothers, couple sisters. My dad got a lot of kids. A lot of kids. Yeah.
Who are you closest to in your family? Like your blood relatives?
Are
you close to any of them?
My sister for sure.
Okay.
But I also grew up with like my cousins and stuff. That's kind of like where that all started at. Like we all was running around together at a young age. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very cool, man. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So, South Durham High School. Then you went to college football. Mm-hmm. Then you went to college basketball. And so what have you been doing since, tell us a little about your life today from college basketball to now. What have you been doing? What are you pushing for? And what's the big dream, man?
Yeah, so For the most part, basketball kind of like, it takes away a lot so far as just like the mental aspect of it, like life. It kind of just puts me in a whole different realm. So I wanted to go overseas, you know what I'm saying, just to see how the experience will work out in this and the third. So basically, really, I think that's the big goal. Just go overseas, see how that experience is, and then if it doesn't work, I think I'm gonna just go to coaching. Honestly,
Yeah. So say it out loud though. I'm gonna clarify. You're saying you're trying to go pro.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, bro. Let's believe God for the right team, the right space, the right money, all of it, man. I love it. It's a good dream. It's a God dream.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a big dream. I like big dreams, bro. So tell me a little bit about some of the pressure, man, the pressures that you've felt in being an athlete, because we're speaking to athletes, but not only athletes. Anybody, any man, I'll share a quote with y'all in a second. Any man that's growing up in this generation has a lot of pressure on him. Pressure to perform in the world, to make money, to provide, pressure to break whatever system we came out of, whatever culture we came out of, to do better than those who went before us. There's a lot of pressure in that. But I know, because I'm a man, there's a lot of opportunity for evil in the world, man. And if men are not right with God, the culture won't be right with God. And Tony Evans says this. He says, a messed up, you know that is Tony Evans? He's legit, man. He's a preacher. He's a pastor. But he says, a messed up man leads to a messed up family. And a messed up family leads to a messed up church. And a messed up church leads to a messed up community. And a messed up community leads to a messed up world. And so I believe if we're ever going to see this generation, especially athletes that have so much going on, so busy just trying to get to the next level, if we're going to see those guys come to Jesus, it's going to be by getting right ourselves. Anne Graham Lotz is the daughter of Billy Graham. Billy Graham was an evangelist who reached like around the world with the gospel. She said this. She said, if you want to see revival in your generation, and I want to see it, man. I want to see men and women of God praising Jesus like he's really worthy of being praised. But she said, if you want to see that revival in your generation, to draw a circle around yourself and make sure everything in that circle is right with God. And I think that's what we got to get back to as men. And how do we champion that in the sports scene? You know, how do we champion that when you go pro? I won't say if, I say when. If it's God's plan, you know, do something different with your life, say yes to that too. But when you go pro, how will you leverage that platform for Jesus? You know? So all that being said, biblical manhood, the conversation today is about biblical manhood, leaving a legacy. How do we reach the next generation? You know, what does it look like to be different tomorrow than the world is today?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about the pressure, man. What are some of the pressures you felt? Let's talk about the pressure from the outside in first, all right? Tell me about it.
When you speak on the outside end, like, to be a little bit more specific,
Yeah.
let me see that.
So what I'm saying is like coaches, other players, when you're looking, let's just say social media pressure. There's a huge pressure coming from like all directions to be somebody else than I was born into. So do you feel that as an athlete, man? Do you feel pressure in that way, or is your pressure more internal, like you got this internal drive and you trying to figure it out?
I do also agree that social media will put a lot of pressure on you if you're that type of person.
Yeah.
That type of person that can listen to the outside noise and put it into your daily life. And you could use that for motivation, or it can
Crush
take you crush you at the same time. So I also think with me personally, I think it's more so the inside aspect of me, that just knowing that like the pressure is always going to be there no matter what's going on. Like it could be something just as simple as saying that I'm going to do something and then don't do it.
Yeah.
It could be just as little as that.
And you get just as mad about that at yourself.
Yeah,
because
it's like,
else. Yeah.
Because it's so easy to forget. It's so easy to just even get sidetracked at that moment in time, and then not knowing what that pressure puts on another person. Like, say if your fiance, your wife, your family needs you to go drop something off at a certain spot just to take a load off their plate.
Yeah.
And say if you forget or you just get sidetracked, and now it's leaving them in a different spot. Now you're...
Do you hate letting people down?
I do. Big time.
What? Tell us about. So he mentioned his fiance. So you're about to get married.
Yes.
Do you feel any pressure with that, bro? What does that feel like to you? Or is that all joy?
I think that's more so joy, if anything. I think the pressure kind of went away our first couple of years just dating, honestly. So it's not necessarily pressure. It's more so trying to be a good man at all times. Like no matter what that looks like, no matter what that would look like to the outside person looking in, just like being a good dude, walking around with your head, you know what I'm saying, smiling, trying to
being a leader, being a good man.
Time, yes, sir.
I feel that because if you're watching this and you don't know me, I have a beautiful wife. Her name is Jordan, and I have 5 kids. And so every day of my life, there's the pressure of wanting to be the right spiritual leader for myself. I don't want to wake up and just fail today. If I do fail, it'll be failing forward because I tried something. You know, I fought for something. But I got a wife who depends on me to be the spiritual leader of my house, and 5 babies who need me to be the dad that they need. So I feel that internal pressure. How do you handle when you feel like you let your this is for all the men watching this podcast, this interview. How do you let's talk about the healthy ways we can handle and the unhealthy ways. How do you handle that pressure when you feel like you did let somebody down, or you let yourself down? You broke your own word to you. How do you handle that pressure?
It's gonna sound a little cliche. Like I literally go play basketball.
Okay.
Like sometimes I think that's the healthy way in my aspect. It maybe looks different for other people. Like anything that brings joy in that situation that could even make you feel better in that situation, I would say I would encourage you to go do. I think the unhealthy way is to try to bottle it up.
What does that end up looking? Yeah,
because it's kind of like it just builds on other emotions and stuff that's going to make you it's either going to make you go do something wrong about the situation or just spiral all downhill from there.
And we all know what happens when the spiral starts.
Yeah, so it's just like it's not as easy to break the spiraling path in that sense.
No, it isn't. And I think speaking to the guys, let me just speak to the ones I know and love, but I still see, like I said this to somebody the other day, you'll never be the man you want to be or the man God called you to be high every day, or using that as your outlet. I think sports is a great outlet for me. Is weightlifting. Like I love to go just lift weights, man, because it's either that or do something dumb.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in pastoral ministry, so the pressure for me is like I can't do anything in the community at all. That's not characteristic of God, because I could lose my testimony like that. You lose your witness as a pastor, well, you got nothing left. So for me, it's got to be go to Jesus. Like I got to run to the Lord when I feel that. But then it's also got to be like basketball is a great outlet for that.
Yes, sir.
But I do think most men don't have the outlet of the Holy Spirit helping them either. And so, yeah, man. What other pressures do you feel, man, in your life today that you could speak to? So mostly just the pressure of not letting others down, letting yourself down. But what other pressure do you feel, man, as someone who's trying to go pro?
Just the pressure to succeed. Like, not to fail is probably the biggest thing that you could go through on a day-to-day basis, just off of internal sense and speaking of me alone. So I would say that, honestly. I think that's the biggest thing.
You want to be successful.
Got to.
What does success look like for you, Rico?
Success looks like for me making sure I don't have to second guess myself when it comes to financial aspect, just stuff like that, honestly. Like,
being able to
provide, do what I need to do, and still live a good life at the same time. Make sure my family good and go from there.
So if you were, this is a hard question, and I know this is a hard question. I'm asking you a lot of questions, but if you could put into a phrase what your vision for your life would be. This is hard. If you can't do it live on the podcast, that's fine. It's something to think about. What would you say, like, in 10 years, I want my life to be this? And that success picture, what is that picture? What are you looking like, doing, living in? You know, what does your family look like at that point?
I don't want to say successful because it's kind of like
no,
obvious
that's
in a sense.
Right, but take your time on that question.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. There's freedom, brother.
That's something I probably would have to come back to, honestly.
Next time we talk.
Yes, sir.
We're going to chop up
I have to think about that long and hard.
The reason I ask him that question is because I learned this probably the hard way, because I never clarified anything for my future. If you don't define it, and if I don't define it, you cannot develop it. Now, God is good. And even without our definitions, he can give us a life of success and a family and, a pro basketball team or the money we need or whatever. But for me, in the future, I want to be a man who defines that vision that God gave me. It's got to come from Him. And then I begin to work backwards from the vision He gave me to build the plan to go do whatever the thing is. So something to think about. Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about your identity, man. Where do you find your worth, your value? What healthy ways do you see, your identity, and what are some other maybe the unhealthy things that you can attach your identity to? So what brings you value in your own mind, your own life?
Brings me value. I think my value is kind of like my family in a sense. Like, I think they give me the most encouragement to even get up and do the stuff that I do. Yeah, so it's like, so far as my fiance, I think she gives me the most, she gives me no room for failure in a sense, in a good way.
I love that.
Yeah.
She pushes you to be better.
Yeah.
And she's a reason. You're attached to her as a reason to do better. Mm-hmm. Where do men find themselves without that sense of identity rooted in a healthy thing?
Yeah. If you don't grow up, because me personally, I didn't grow up with that motherly figure in my life. I had my grandmother, but she wasn't my mom in a sense. You know what I mean?
I do.
A grandmother's love and your mother's love is kind of two different things.
Totally.
Mind you, I still love my grandmother like she's my mother. Like if anybody asks, I'm going to say my grandma's my mom.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that figure in your life, it's automatically going to be tough to find that love again if you never knew it in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think with my fiance, she gave me that grandmother feeling.
Oh, wow.
While also giving me a motherly love at the same time.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, I'm going to love you unconditionally no matter. I know the person you are.
Yep.
I know the mistakes that you're going to make. I know the mistakes you might not make.
But she believes in you. And
no matter what the circumstances.
And that is powerful, man.
Yeah.
That's real love when you believe in somebody to the point where you lay it on the line. Because Rico, you're a man. I'm a man. We're gonna do some dumb stuff, bro.
Yeah, it's just in our nature.
It is, and we got to grow, man. We got to be sanctified and walk in the Lord and learn to overcome dumb stuff. But tell me about how your relationship with God looks right now. And how
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, be honest, please.
I know me and God could most definitely be way better than what we are. I think that's 90, probably 100% on me because it is times that I fall into stuff that I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Just like off of just stuff that could be avoided, off of just not thinking, moving the wrong way at the moment in time. But I most definitely think I could do more in the spiritual aspect of it.
I appreciate that honesty, bro.
Yeah.
That's what makes this conversation worth having. Mm-hmm. And I will even echo. I'm a Christian pastor, and I think there are a lot of days where, and it's like you said, it's 100% probably on me, but I'm not all the man I could be that day. Mm-hmm. And the goal of every man who wants to be a spiritual leader, and I'll speak to our listeners, I think is to wake up in the morning and say, Lord, today, how do you want to use me? Mm-hmm. Instead of waking up and just diving straight into all the other things we always do, the rhythms of whatever that is for you, even if it's a good rhythm, having coffee, And so running to the Lord first, I think, has got to become priority. But, has there ever been a time in your life where you feel like you and God were in better standing, better terms? Or just like you feel like you were closer in your walk with Him? Or do you feel like you're just on a journey to walk closer with Him?
Yeah, I think more so every day. I think I'm just more on a journey to get closer to Him.
That's good. Anything else you feel like gives you identity, like a sense of purpose, a sense of who you are? What makes Rico Rico? Outside of what you've mentioned.
I think me being the caring guy that I am, I think my loyalty to the people that I know that's looked out for me over the years kind of like shows. And then just like if I call you my friend, my brother, this, that, and the third, like, you going to notice that no matter what the circumstance is, because I'm probably one of those guys, like, that you could call, like, no matter what the circumstances, I might have your back, even if I ain't got it myself. Yeah, so I think that's probably...
I believe that about you.
Yeah.
I saw that in you the first couple of times I met you, that you're really that man. So I think loyalty is one of the greatest I would say almost callings, but gifts we can have.
Mm-hmm.
So our family has a set of values, and this goes back to defining things, right? Like we define vision, we define values, and the values are simple, but they've been really powerful. The first one is love, man. We're going to love God, and we're going to love other people, because that's the commandment of Jesus, right?
That's right.
Love God and love others. We're going to be learners, meaning my goal, and no matter how high up, quote unquote, high up I get in life, my goal is always going to be to wake up in the morning and be a learner. I can learn from anybody. I learn from my kids every day, bro. Mm-hmm. Those kids teach me principles and things all the time. So it's love, it's learning. The third one is loyalty. Mm-hmm. We will fight for and die for, bleed for the ones that we are loyal to. First King Jesus, then each other, then whoever else is our friends. I love that your heart is there. The fourth one is laughter. Mm-hmm. Life's too short, bro, not to have some fun.
Yeah.
Not to laugh, not to cut up, man. I know a lot of people who just live their life boring. There's no joy in it. But laughter, the Bible says, is like a good medicine to your soul. So the last one is leadership, man. We want to change something. And so anyway, all that being said, I love that one of the things that makes Rico is loyalty. Mm-hmm. I see it in you, man. What else? Anything else?
I think laughter for sure. Like, one thing about me, I'm trying to laugh.
You're trying to have some fun, bro.
I ain't trying to I try to make serious situations as serious as possible, but sometimes, like, I'm also that person that put laughter into a serious situation 100%. Just to try to lighten the spirits up.
And sometimes Rico will start a fight in the gym and walk away.
And just act like ain't nothing happened.
I love it, bro.
I'll start a little controversy and just walk away.
You do that all the time. I saw it the first week. I'm like, is he starting that and leaving? There's no way I'm watching this right now. I love it, bro.
And just keep it pushing like nothing happened.
Like nothing happened. Oh, that's good. So good. So let me ask you this question, then we'll move on to the next thing. I've not followed this outline at all, but it's okay. If basketball disappeared tomorrow, what is Rico Burris doing? Tyreek, Ricardo Burris doing?
I think I'm still going to go by my day-to-day life, like being the man I am today without just having fun, trying to go to work, come home, and go from there.
Amen. Yeah. I like it. Good for you, bro. That's good. So let's talk about faith. Let's talk about hurt. We all have wounds, for clarity, and all of our wounds look different. I'll start with me. And we can talk about, I told you this earlier, but as far as you want to go, as much as you want to say, as little, it's on you. Whatever you feel freedom to share. But faith and church often leaves us with some wounds. Church people, maybe you don't have that experience. I hope you don't. But for me, I grew up as a pastor's kid, so I got to see church people that are supposed to love me and my family.
Treat you a certain type of way.
Yeah, treat my dad bad. Mm-hmm. I heard it. I saw it. I had a guy one time in youth group, like he hated my dad. He was my youth pastor. And so one of the days he took a pencil. I was talking or something, being a kid, I was like 12. He threw it at me and it stuck in the corner of my eyeball. And I pulled this pencil out and I'm bleeding out my eyeball. And I saw Christians treat other Christians like Jesus would never condone. And so for a while I had this wound in me, this bitterness started to be in me. And I asked God, I literally prayed, I said, Lord, I'll do anything you want me to do, but I will never be in ministry at one point. And it was not until God literally gave me freedom from bitterness that I even had a chance to overcome all the years. And that's not just one event. Like I'm talking about years and years and years of, Jesus, how can you be you when all these people act like this? Right. So for me, tell me a little bit of, like, you mentioned your dad was a worship leader, background in church, man. It does not have to be like my story. Whatever your story is your story.
Yeah.
Tell me your background, your church background, and has there ever been a time that you've been wounded by Christians or anything like that?
I wouldn't say I had a personal experience so far as, like, to your extent. I think just seeing people outside of church and seeing people in church is going to be two different aspects anyway. So I think people knowing who my dad is outside of church, a lot of people would look at him like he probably never been to church a day in his life, and the whole time he's probably the most godly man in my family. Yeah. So, not necessarily, not in a sense. Yeah.
So what are some things in your life that have cut you deep?
Losing my granddad, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the number one because like I grew up like so far as my grandma and my granddaddy, like I grew up, they literally raised me from a kid all the way to you know what I mean? So
yeah.
losing my granddad probably was the biggest thing that probably hurt the most.
When did he pass away?
A couple like probably 2 years ago. Yeah. So
Okay, that's tough. Yeah, that's really hard. Yeah, my granddad just passed away last year, man. It's a rough thing.
Yeah, it ain't the easiest, no.
I wasn't as close to him as I would have liked to been, but I was still his grandson.
Yeah.
And he took me hunting when I was little and took us to the beach every year. So to honor my granddad, it's a hard loss because it's a generation loss.
Yeah.
And so I feel that a little bit. Now he didn't raise me like yours did, but yeah. Have you ever? Let me ask this question. Forget that question. That question is trash. What kind of Christian do you never want to become, Rico?
Like I don't want to be the Christian that says he's a Christian but goes about everything unchristian like. I don't want to go out of like do everything the Bible says I'm not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be that ever.
What does that look like, man, to you?
Because it's a lot of different ways.
Completely.
Yeah, it's a lot of different ways. Like just like lust, stuff like that. Like I don't want to be that. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not
struggle.
Possible.
Yeah, we all struggle with
like,
that, bro, for sure.
Like that's just. I think that's just a part. Lust is also another form of love in a sense. If you want to be technical, like some people can lust and also love somebody at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I think just that aspect of it. Just I don't want to.
You don't want to live in the flesh.
I don't want to be the one speaking one way and acting another way.
Amen. So you don't want to be a man with no integrity.
Basically.
And integrity is, my little son came back from school the other day, learned this word integrity, and I said, what does it mean? He says, it means being exactly the same no matter who's watching. I want to be that man too. And it's easy, man. Just speaking to the people who are listening, it's easy to build your life so that you have a place in your life where you can be somebody else. It's hard to break that because that becomes addictive. Whatever that is for you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about. So what I would say is, if you flirt with it, you're going to fall for it. And don't even play on the devil's playground. Burn it down, bro.
Just get it out of the way.
Build safeguards, and there's so many things we could talk about right there, man. Like specifically lust, like pornography is a massive demonic industry. It's wrong. It's sick. But I forget the percentage, but most men are addicted to it. I mean, I'm just telling you, whatever the thing is, find somebody who can help you overcome those things. I beg you to do it because the one thing that Satan wants to do is get us into sin, bro, get us bad. I heard it said if Satan can't get you bad, meaning he doesn't get you to fall into pornography or lust or drug addiction or whatever, he'll get you busy. So there's two types of men. It's really three. One who's chasing Jesus full-fledged, one who's in sin, and then one who's too busy to think about God. And either the second two options, the second and third options are no good, man. So my life has to become, Jesus, I'm chasing you wholeheartedly. I'm fighting every day to walk in the Spirit because I can't overcome sin without the Holy Spirit, bro. No chance. And then the third thing is really like I'm going to prioritize Jesus. And so I will tell you on the faith and hurt topic, I brought that into the conversation because I think a lot of people that are going to listen to this have probably seen some Christian somewhere that made you question Jesus. Don't let a human being who has no spiritual power at all be the one who dictates whether God is real or not. Because God is real and he loves you. So that's the word on that. But let's talk about the race issue, bro. Let's talk about race and lots of different perspectives when it comes to race. And race is way more than just white, black. It's every tribe, tongue, and nation. So let's talk about, we live in Raleigh, North Carolina, Durham. You live in where now? You moved
Chapel Hill.
to Chapel Hill. So I love this conversation because I grew up as an athlete. I was always surrounded by everybody else. Latino kids on my team. We had white kids on my team, black kids on my teams. plural. But I really grew up. So like my formative years were in like Lewisburg, Bunn. You know
so
where
that's
that's
kind
at?
of like, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So I was like definitely one of the white kids, the only white kids in a lot of my friend groups. If you look at my friend groups today, they're not much different than that. And I just think that's because God's called me to bridge the gap, man.
Yeah.
And to fight for that, fight for racial reconciliation and even spiritual reconciliation in other cultures. I speak fluent Spanish. I learned that in college because I just want to reach Latin people too. So the point is, let's talk about race. What do you see? What is your perspective on the race thing within Christianity and also within basketball culture? What are some of the things that you see, good, bad, or ugly, in regard to specifically just race?
I think so far as like basketball wise, like race wise, it kind of already gives you a characteristic in a sense. Like, of course, like I'm a black guy, they're gonna automatically assume I can dunk.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, white people, they're going to automatically
assume I can't dunk, yeah.
Assume you could shoot, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You're going to hit shots and this and the third. So I think even with like today's world, I think it automatically just puts us in a certain characteristic. Like some people are already going to look at you like different depending on your skin tone.
For sure.
I don't think that's the right way to go about it because everybody has different outlooks and everybody treats everybody differently. So me personally, I don't care if you black, white, Hispanic, any of that. Like, if you cool peoples, you cool peoples.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've ever had white teammates, white coaches misunderstand you because of racial things?
Yeah, I believe so.
What do you think some of those things that like we misunderstand? Speak to me. I'm a white guy. What are some of the things that white people misunderstand culturally or whatever about black people that you've seen? And if you hadn't seen nothing, there's no pressure to make something up.
I think the passion looks a little different. Like, for me, like, we could talk about the shot clock situation.
Talk about it. Yeah, bro.
Like, I think...
Hold on, let me give you the backstory. Can I give the backstory, or you want to tell the whole story?
No, you can tell it.
All right, so the backstory of this conversation is we're hooping in the gym. We've decided to use the shot clock, and the way that we do the shot clock, which was unclear at this point in time to Rico, is that it's a running clock until you're under a minute. And then it's a stop clock every dead ball, every check ball. But it's been a running clock the whole game. And so tell us what happened, Rico. What happened, Rico?
So we were playing. It got down to a minute, but the clock never stopped. So me as a basketball player, I'm known to play until the clock hit zero. So we were up, the clock went off, and they got another opportunity to go score again. Mark tells me that it's another minute.
It, bro.
It's another minute on the clock after we had already got to stop. This, that, and the third. So I'm like, so what did we have the clock out for? I guess I didn't get the answer I wanted to hear. So what I decided to do is put the shot clock up, put it back in the box, and put it over there by the door.
So he picks up the shot clock and he walks across the gym. And I said, Rico, you can't just take the shot clock. And long story short, it was hilarious. I will never forget the day. But we had a good conversation after that.
Yeah.
That's when we became real friends.
So, yes.
Because we hashed it out.
Yeah.
And we listened to each other.
So I think that's the perception of, like, to you, it may look like I'm doing it out of spite or I'm just mad.
Disrespect or
But in my eyes, I'm doing it because I'm really, like, passionate about winning. Like, I think in my life, I feel like I cannot lose, even though I know I can lose physically. Like,
I get it.
It's a part of life.
Yeah, you're gonna lose something sometimes. Yeah,
that still doesn't mean that I go out here day to day knowing, like, saying, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose today.
No, you're a winner, bro.
Yeah,
you got winner's mentality.
Yeah,
I got the same way. So
I think the passion is probably.
Let's dive into that a little bit. I agree with you. One of the things I love about basketball, because I'm ultra passionate too, is the way that there's no eggshells in basketball culture.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'm not tiptoeing around you, and you're not tiptoeing around me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I speak to basketball players so much, and football players too, because honestly, football players are kind of the same way. Athletes can be the same way. We don't have to walk on eggshells. If I think it, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's danger in that too, because the Bible says, if we live in the Spirit, let us like keep in step with the Spirit. We can let this thing get us in trouble too. We can let that passion become anger, or that passion be attached to something unhealthy, and then I can blow up on somebody out of a place that's unhealthy. But I think that's true. You are trying to demonstrate how much it meant to you that y'all lost over something foolish by taking the shot clock. And I was trying to express to you how
disrespectful it looks.
Disrespectful from across the gym to me and probably some others. But I do love that, you know, and this is a principle we could spend this whole podcast on, though. There is so much value in sitting on that bench and listening to my brother talk to me.
Just take the time to actually hear somebody out is probably the best thing you could probably do sometimes, because you'll never get the full understanding of where their mindset was in that moment or space.
That's 100%.
I took my time to sit right there and listen to what you needed to say, even regardless of how I was feeling at the moment in time. I literally stopped other people from talking to me.
I know.
Just to get.
You said, "I'll talk to you in a minute."
I'll talk to you in a minute, so I can figure out where you're coming from, and you took the time to figure out where I was coming from. Resolve from there. Life goes on.
Why do so many people not get that and do that in real life scenarios when race is involved, do you think?
I think most of the time, I think it's more so the history in a sense.
100%.
I think history plays a big factor in that. And a lot of, 100% is ego most of the time. Like, sometimes people just feel like they're just right, no matter what the circumstance is. Like,
some people feel that way, Rico. They do. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's you.
Yeah, like
but you're right.
Sometimes I feel like it's more so just the history that plays that makes it automatically just goes into a racial thing, no matter the fact that it's just two people talking. Yeah.
The reality is, I'm going to say some strong, true things. We live in a country that once instituted slavery.
So, like, when you say instituted slavery, you mean like
condoned it, did it, enslaved other people, different colors, went and got them. That's sick, bro.
Yeah.
And most people can't even have that conversation without really freaking out. But I think if we're going to be a generation of men who overcome what all these people did, which wasn't me and it wasn't you, we're going to have to talk about these things.
Yeah.
So you're right. There's a huge trigger there, and it's a trigger for a reason. And we should all be understanding that, you know, it's like someone who's been, I'm a pastor, so I speak to a lot of people who have been abused. You start talking about abuse with some people, and it triggers them.
Yeah.
To go to a traumatic place, to kind of freak out. And so I would love to see a generation of men who work together to fight all that, but we don't fight all those weapons by arguing and screaming and hating each other. We fight that by saying, hey, listen, Jesus said in Revelation chapter 7 that every tribe and every tongue and every nation will gather around the throne of God and they'll praise Jesus forever together. We preach that message because all of the political junk going on right now is insane, for one. It's not fixing the problems.
No, not even a little bit.
So how can a strategy of man fix a spiritual issue? Can't do it. And so we've got to be able to talk about how sick and wrong our nation did things in the past, but also believe on the same Jesus who never condoned that whole thing and love each other. And for what it's worth, bro, I love you like a brother, man.
Yeah, for sure.
To be able to sit in here and talk to you about
Yes,
things like race, like the sin of it, but also like going forward. So how do you think, let's just make it about black and white. All right, we can do that. We got 10 more minutes or so. How do black and white people get along in the future? How do we work together on huge things that can change the world and change our cities and all that? What's it going to take, man?
Pride, man. It's going to take a lot of pride. It's going to take a lot of putting self to the side and really looking at the bigger picture when it comes down to just race in general. Like, I know it's going to be tough for a lot of people because a lot of people still live, even people that didn't experience anything slavery, gonna still feel a certain type of way just off of the history of it. I think more times than not, people have to realize that people are still people. Like a human being is still going to be a human being.
And they're gonna like what they're used to and what looks familiar and what looks normal. Yeah.
But I don't think you should automatically put somebody in a certain bubble just off of the strength of that.
You can't, man. And that's judgmental, really. Because like if I assume anything based on your color of you. I don't give you a chance.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm a white guy, but I'm surrounded a lot of my life by black dudes. I've been totally treated funny. I don't care. I don't find my identity in that.
Yeah.
But the reality is I've had to have some of my brothers stand up and fight for me in those scenarios. Otherwise it was going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So on the race thing, man, I think you're right. I think we have to lower our pride. I think we have to really figure out, this is what I like. Like, I love to find out what we're both for. Meaning, what are the things that we both want to fight for? And then lock arms and fight for that. Yeah. And don't let the sins of the past and the generational sins of our forefathers, or my forefathers, I'll say, in this sense, determine the future. Because we're going to change the world together, Rico.
Yeah.
In one way or another, identifying all these basketball courts and all. I want you to be a part of that too, by the way.
Yes, sir.
And for those of you who are listening, don't know what I'm talking about. We're looking at and praying about identifying the broken down basketball courts in neighborhoods around Cary, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, all of it, and raising the money to go rebuild them all. Giving those kids something to be proud of, launching development and leadership development, mentoring programs into those places, because the weapon, and I would say the key to getting out of whatever your situation is, it does not matter where you came from, what your neighborhood looked like. I grew up in a trailer park. I know what some of the roughness is in that location. I know what it was. But here's what I know. If you build your life on Jesus, he can take you from anywhere to anywhere. And so, yeah. Anything else you would want to say on race?
Say, man, put our egos aside, because you never know what somebody going through on a day-to-day basis, like white, black, Hispanic. I don't think a traumatic situation should be the only reason to bring us together. So
we should work together on the front end to find solutions instead of just trying to fix problems. That's strong right there.
Yeah.
That really is strong. So I love that, bro. In the last few minutes we have, man, let's talk about some of the mental health. Actually, let's talk about masculinity. What does that mean? When you hear about masculinity, what does it mean to be a man? What are some of the things that pop in your mind, Rico, about being a man?
Being a man is just all the characteristics you could think of off the just top of your head, just being brave, being strong, being a provider, all that stuff, man. Just being true to your skin, true to your nature.
Confident, courageous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. What does it mean to be a biblical man?
Live by God's words, live by God's path, do everything a man of God is supposed to do.
Amen.
Yeah.
What do you think that God wants men in our generation to do differently, do for him?
Lead. Probably lead in a godly way. Lead a little better.
Lead is the word, bro. We want to, in the last 2 years, I've worked on this this statement for myself, why I exist. It's kind of like a purpose statement. And for me, it's to inspire and equip worshipers of Jesus. You could say believers, but inspire and equip worshipers of Jesus to multiply disciples. Meaning we go make disciples and make disciples and make disciples, leaders, and churches, because ultimately the church of Jesus is the hope in the world. And I think none of that happens at all without leadership. So how can hoopers start leading better in the hoop scene? What does that look like? And this is tough, because it's a real, you and I both know what the scene looks like.
I think that's going to take a little bit more work. It's just off of the physical aspect of it, because a lot of times people are coming into the gym after built up frustrations and stuff like that. So that most of the time is kind of their relief in a sense. So maybe some stuff that you don't say on a day-to-day basis, where you're at work, somebody made you upset.
Yeah, and it's all coming out in the gym.
Then it's coming out in the gym. Some people going to take that. Some people don't even pay it no mind because of the simple fact we understand we in the gym and this, that, and the third. Sure. It's not being said outside of these lines. So it's we kind of leave it at that.
It's kind of that therapy space. Yeah. Is that healthy?
To a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent. I think it loses being healthy when it dishonors God.
Yeah.
It loses being healthy when it's coming from, and I'll just say it on the podcast, like gang influence stuff, because I've had to deal with that in this gym a bunch. With just
I get that.
when it's coming from, honestly, being drunk or something stupid too. Like, so how do you think that we, as men who love Jesus and want to grow, because I feel like you want to grow, bro. I really do. I don't feel like I'm talking to somebody who's just happy to be the same forever. I think you want to grow. How do we work towards building a culture, or even, let's say, improving hoops culture as leaders? What are some of the things you think we need to do?
Just like same words we've been using the whole time, like leading, just like letting people know like certain things probably don't need to be said right there at this moment in time. Just like say if somebody is just like saying gang affiliate stuff or something like that, just let them know like
We don't do that here.
Not here.
Yeah, we don't need to do that here.
Like I'm not trying to change who you are. I'm not trying to change what you do outside of here. Just in here, just kind of keep it mellow and complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last thing, what do you think it's going to take for basketball players? And I'm proud of you, Rico. I think we need to do another one, to be honest.
Yeah, that's cool with me.
I really think so. And do a few, because there's a whole lot of layers we could get into on a whole lot of things, because you just have you have a great voice for this and a heart for this. So affirming you online right now, I'm proud of you. The last question, because we really are about, guys are probably waiting at the door, is what would you say to all of our friends? I'll say our friends. Some of them I know, some of them you don't know, some of them, I don't know, about coming to Jesus. What would you tell our brothers and sisters, our friends, to do with Jesus today?
To do with Jesus, I would tell them, honestly, just follow his path, follow his word, and make him important in your life, because little do you know you're going to need him more than you'll ever know. Because like even when you have nobody else to talk to, like God is always listening to you, and he's going to help you through. Like he really all forgiven. Like
yes, sir.
No matter what you could have done, no matter what bad mistake you could have did, anything, like he's going to be the one literally listening to you and going to forgive you no matter what the situation is. So I would tell them to really just listen to God and follow his path.
Amen. I'm proud of you for that, bro.
Yes, sir.
And so if you've been with us today on the Come to Jesus podcast, let me encourage you as well to echo what my brother has already said. If you don't know what you believe, I beg you to come to Jesus. You can't do that by earning it. You can't do that by being good enough. You can only do that by saying, I realize I'm a sinner. I confess that sin to a God who loves me and sent Jesus to die on a bloody, rugged cross for me. And you can lay your life down at his feet. And the next step, if you are a believer today, I will say this because I feel this in the spirit, it's time for the men of God to lead, to echo what you said as well. So let's become leaders. And leaders don't lead from position, being over somebody. Leaders lead by empowering those around them to leverage their lives for a bigger, a greater purpose. So God bless y'all. Thank you for being with us today on the Come to Jesus podcast. Rico, I love you, bro. Great words of wisdom. This was fun, man. It was real fun. God bless.